14 degrees, that is how cold it will be in Mobile, Alabama this Sunday morning. Is your city about to experience the coldest weekend in 15 years? Right now, over 800,000 people are sitting in homes with no power, dealing with single-digit temperatures, and what's coming this weekend is going to make that situation dramatically worse. Stay with me for the next 30 seconds because I'm about to show you the exact hour this Arctic blast hits your city. Drop your city in the comments right now, and I'll give you personalized timing in tomorrow's update. Seriously, comment your location. I am reading every single one. Atlanta, you re-looking at Saturday morning around 6 a.m. when those temperatures crater. Chicago, this hits you Friday night. Memphis, Sunday morning could see 18 degrees. Miami, even you guys could flirt with near freezing Sunday morning. Jacksonville, 17 degrees Sunday. Birmingham, 13 degrees. Nashville, 9 degrees Saturday morning. Now here's what nobody is talking about. We have over 800,000 homes without power right now as we speak. Tennessee has 248,000 homes dark. Mississippi, 157,000. Louisiana, 123,000. And the temperatures these folks are dealing with this morning are in the single digits in many locations. That is not just uncomfortable. That is life-threatening. And unfortunately, this freeze is going to last all the entire week. But here's where things get interesting. At the end of this week, another massive storm is trying to develop right along the East Coast. And this one, if it verifies the way the European model is showing, we re-talking about potentially feet of snow again for the Northeast. Wait until you see this next part because the model runs that just came out this morning are showing something honestly pretty concerning. Let me back up for a second and show you where we are right now. The latest snowfall reports from yesterday's storm are staggering. 8,000 reports of snow across the entire United States. We had 605 reports of freezing rain and 379 reports of sleet. Multiple places got 3/4 of an inch to a full inch of freezing rain. Think about that weight on power lines. Think about that weight on trees. Multiple locations got 3 to 5 inches of sleet. Not snow, sleet. That heavy, dense, frozen mess. And here's what's really crazy about this. The main cities in the Northeast saw their first major snow in 10 years. Multiple cities got a foot or more. Pennsylvania, Missouri, New Jersey, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Connecticut. We re-talking about places that haven't seen snow like this in a decade getting absolutely hammered. And now we are potentially looking at another one this weekend. Stick with me because at minute 5, I am showing you the one model run that has meteorologists seriously concerned. This isn't a hype. This is legitimate concern based on what we are seeing in the data. All right, let's jump into what this cold air is about to do. The new data shows this Arctic air is going to come all the way down towards this weekend before it starts leveling out. Your temperatures are going to reach a little bit warmer today, tomorrow, even Wednesday. Then it's going to bomb back down again all the way towards the weekend. And when I say all the way, I mean all the way down to Florida. Now here's the thing. We re-dealing with a negative North Atlantic oscillation. When you have that negative NAO, that what brings colder air towards the south and eastern United States, this is a blocking pattern in the Atlantic Ocean. And the GFS model is trending this not just for this week, but showing another blast coming through as we go into the first half of February. We re-looking at another potential cold shot coming towards the south around February 6th through the 10th. How about you folks in Knoxville with those power outages? Chattanooga, you are dealing with the same thing. Memphis, I know you've been struggling with this, and unfortunately for all of you, the cold that's already in place is going to get reinforced this weekend. You guys in Little Rock, same story. Shreveport, you are not getting a break either. Now watch what happens next as we go through the week. The cold air is going to continuously come in every single day. There are going to be some warm pockets along the south, and as we go into the weekend, we're going to get moisture coming in from the Pacific, and it's going to pull up from the Gulf. By the time we get through the weekend, that's when another chance at a snowstorm develops. Here's where I need you to pay very close attention. This storm could meet up along the southeast with the cold air. The precipitation will be there. It is all going to be about timing, and I am going to show you what the Ensemble models are saying about the chances of this happening. But the models are showing us a better chance as we go through Saturday and Sunday. It is going to pull all this moisture northward, pulling these very cold temperatures all the way past Florida and then potentially bottling up for the Northeast, bringing a strong winter storm for them as well. Remember to drop your city below. I am giving personalized forecasts in tomorrow's video. I want to make sure you know exactly what to expect. And here's the kicker. The European model, which correctly predicted the last storm, is showing this could stack right back up for the Northeast. Now, this portion that's going offshore could be a little bit closer towards the coast. Remember, it's a few days away. We still need to time this out with the impacts. But just for the record, what the Euro saw before did actually verify that widespread foot of snow, all the sleet and ice. So we really need to pay attention to what it's showing now. Right now, the GFS is showing this could be right along the East Coast, but the European model, it's showing this could potentially bring 2 to 3, maybe even 4 feet of snow to portions of the Northeast. That's a massive difference. We'll know which one is right by tomorrow morning's model runs. Make sure you check back tomorrow because these solutions are going to start coming into better focus. In just 2 minutes, I am revealing the shocking ensemble probabilities that nobody is talking about. These show us the range of possibilities, and some of them are pretty extreme. Let me show you what the ensembles are indicating. Each ensemble member is tweaked a little bit different. More cold temperatures in one, more moisture in another. It's all slightly different, so you can see what the variables are of what could happen versus what might not happen. And what I may seeing here is actually pretty fascinating. You can see there could be a little bit of snow right here along the Gulf Coast, but look at this. There's a big signal right here for the Carolinas. Some ensemble members are showing this either being right along the East Coast or right offshore. You see this big development offshore, but look at this one dragging right along the Southeast. That pink right there represents 9 inches or more. Look at this one showing a huge snowstorm for the mid-Atlantic. Now look, I'm going to be honest with you. That scenario right there would cause huge problems. I know a lot of you want snow, but 2 feet of wet, heavy snow on top of what you already have, that would mean more power outages and freezing temperatures. That's a combination nobody wants to see. Actually, I need to clarify that. The ensemble average is showing it could hit towards the mid-Atlantic and Northeast and potentially go offshore. It is showing chances along the south as well. The Euro ensemble has 50 members, and several are showing a big development towards the Northeast. Some show it offshore. Some show it going right over Florida, bringing snow towards the south. A lot of them are showing a big storm, but instead of hitting the Southeast directly, more likely it goes right off the coast. But the mid-Atlantic towards the Northeast could see a significant snowstorm. If this verifies, we're looking at a really difficult situation for millions of people. But models can be wrong. Forecasts change. Let's hope this is one of those times where the models overdid it. We're about 48 hours away from high confidence on this weekend storm. Keep watching because the most important part is coming up. This affects everyone, not just people in the snowstorm path. Let me show you the temperatures you're going to deal with for this week. That way you know where it's going to warm up each day, where snow or ice might melt, and just where things warm up in general. But I also want to show you how this cold air is going to come bombing right back down once we go from Thursday into the weekend. This is critical for understanding what is coming. For this morning, these are the temperatures everyone without power is experiencing right now. The wind chills are making it even worse. For your highs today, not many of you are going to get out of freezing temperatures. These are the only areas where you are going to be above freezing while you have all these problems with frozen precipitation on the ground. For tomorrow morning, the freeze comes right back down. It's going to refreeze everything that's still on the ground, bringing temperatures in the 20s all the way towards central Florida, all the way past Texas. And this is the worst part, the wind chills. And not just for the south. For the north, you're going to stay frozen this whole time all week long. The northeast, you are still going to stay frozen for about 10 to 14 days. That snow that fell is not going anywhere. Now here's some good news. Your highs for tomorrow are going to improve. Everyone within this warm zone, any kind of precipitation you have is going to start melting. This is going to help out tremendously. However, the wind chills are still going to make it feel frozen even deeper across much of the country. You guys in Charlotte, tomorrow you re-looking at getting above freezing during the day. Raleigh, same thing. Columbia, South Carolina, you are going to thaw out. Greenville, you will see melting tomorrow. Atlanta, your temperatures tomorrow climb into the mid-40s. That's going to melt a lot of what you've got on the ground. As we go through Wednesday morning, freezing temperatures come back down and the wind chills come with it. You're still going to feel it all the way towards Florida. Florida, I know this is frustrating, but it's going to get worse from here. Now, the good news before the bad news. On Wednesday S highs, this is where a lot of people all the way across the Carolinas, even portions of Tennessee, Arkansas, even southern Missouri and Oklahoma, you all are going to get out of the frozen precipitation zone. Things are going to melt dramatically, but watch out. This is going to bring a lot of fog as well. Dense fog with all that melting snow and ice. With the wind chills, it's going to stay brutal for the highs on Wednesday across the northern tier. Montgomery, Alabama, Wednesday, you're looking at 52 degrees. Jackson, Mississippi, 50 degrees. Baton Rouge, you're getting up to 54. That is a significant warm-up. Memphis, you're looking at 48. Nashville, 44 degrees Wednesday. Indianapolis, you're only getting to 34. Detroit, 28 degrees. Buffalo, you restuck at 24 Wednesday. Now I'm going to move a little bit faster through this part because we already talking about 4 days out. Here come the freezing temperatures back down again for Thursday. Here come the wind chills. You can see it starting to pivot towards Florida. But now you've got a lot of people feeling like -10 to -20 degrees all the way from the north central and Midwest towards the Northeast. Thursday's highs, this is the warmest day you are going to feel, along with Wednesday before it comes bottling back down for the weekend. So a lot of people are going to be out of the ice, out of the snow before another storm potentially hits. Thursday, Dallas, you are at 62 degrees, Houston 68, San Antonio 70 degrees, Oklahoma City 53, Kansas City 41. But Fargo, you are at 10 degrees, Minneapolis 15, Green Bay 18 degrees Thursday. Don T, skip ahead. You need to hear this next part about what happens this weekend. This is where things get really concerning. As we go through Friday, here comes the cold plunging down. The wind chills drop dramatically. As you go through Saturday, it comes down even deeper. Even your highs for Saturday stay frozen all the way towards the south, and this is where it really bombs towards Florida and the south again. Sunday morning, freezing temperatures come all the way back down. Now you are getting teen temperatures coming towards the south, maybe northern Florida seeing 18 degrees as we go through Sunday morning. With the wind chills, it's going to feel like single digits. Look at this pivot right towards the southeast. If the GFS verifies, you are looking at a scenario where the storm stays offshore. But if the Euro is correct, we are talking about a major winter storm for the mid-Atlantic and northeast. That tells me we are still in that window where things could shift dramatically. Check back tomorrow when we'll have the overnight model runs to analyze. Jacksonville, Sunday morning, URI looking at 17 degrees. Tallahassee, 19 degrees. Pensacola, 16 degrees. Mobile, 14 degrees. New Orleans, 22 degrees. Tampa, you could see 32 degrees Sunday morning. Orlando, 28 degrees. That S freezing for Central Florida. Miami, you are looking at potentially 40 degrees, but that S still the coldest you've been in years. Savannah, Georgia, Sunday morning, 20 degrees. Charleston, South Carolina, 18 degrees. Myrtle Beach, 16 degrees. Wilmington, North Carolina, 14 degrees. These are brutal temperatures for the south. Richmond, Virginia, 12 degrees. Norfolk, 15 degrees. Washington, D.C., 11 degrees Sunday morning. Baltimore, 9 degrees. Philadelphia, 7 degrees. New York City, 6 degrees. Boston, 4 degrees Sunday morning. Portland, Maine, -2 degrees. This is the part that honestly has me concerned. We are not just talking about cold, we talking about cold plus the potential for a major snowstorm. We talking about cold plus 800,000 people still without power. That's a dangerous combination. Let me tell you why this matters, even if you're not in the snowstorm path. This cold air is going to affect energy demand across the entire eastern half of the country. It's going to affect infrastructure that is already damaged from the previous storm. It's going to affect people who are already exhausted from dealing with power outages and dangerous conditions. And here's what is really crazy. Some of the Ensemble members are showing the potential for some light snow accumulation along the Gulf Coast. Now, I don't want to overhype this. The chances are not high. But if you see accumulating snow in places like southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, that would be extremely unusual. The setup is there. The cold air will be there. The question is whether the moisture makes it far enough west and south before the system moves offshore. Biloxi, you've got about a 20% chance of seeing accumulating snow Saturday night into Sunday. Gulf shores, about the same. Gulfport, maybe 15% chance. Again, not likely, but it's in the realm of possibility with this setup. Pensacola, you're looking at maybe a 25% chance. Tallahassee, closer to 30%. As we move farther north, Valdosta, Georgia, you're looking at about a 40% chance of accumulating snow this weekend. Albany, Georgia, 35%. Dothan, Alabama, 30%. These aren't high probabilities, but they are not zero either. Tomorrow's model runs will give us much better clarity on exactly where this precipitation shield sets up. Almost there, and the best part is coming up in 1 minute. I'm going to show you exactly what to watch for in tomorrow's models. For the Carolinas, this is where things get really interesting. Macon, Georgia, you're looking at maybe a 45% chance of snow Saturday night. Augusta, 50% chance. Columbia, South Carolina, 60% chance. That's more likely than not if the Euro solution is correct. Florence, South Carolina, 55%. Fayetteville, North Carolina, 70%. Raleigh, 75%. Greensboro, 80%. These probabilities go way up as you move north and east. Now, here's where the models are in better agreement. Virginia, you're looking at high probabilities for significant snow. Roanoke, 85% chance. Lynchburg, 90%. Richmond, 85%. This storm, if it develops as forecast, is going to impact you. The question is how much snow we are talking about. Are we talking 6 inches, a foot, 2 feet? That's what tomorrow's models will help us nail down. For Maryland and Delaware, you are in the bullseye if this storm tracks where the Euro wants to take it. Frederick, Maryland, 90% chance. Baltimore, 85%. Annapolis, 80%. Dover, Delaware, 90%. These are high confidence numbers for snow. The question is, accumulation amounts. Pennsylvania, here's your concern. It's not just the cold. It's the cold plus another foot or more of snow on top of what you already have. That's a tough combination. Harrisburg, you are looking at 95% probability of significant snow this weekend if this develops. York, 95%. Lancaster, 95%. Allentown, 90%. Scranton, 85%. We don't know exactly where that heaviest snow band sets up yet. That is going to depend on the exact track of the low-pressure system. But if you are in Pennsylvania, you need to be prepared for the possibility of another major snow event. New Jersey, you are right in the zone for this. Trenton, 95% chance. Newark, 90%. Jersey City, 90%. Atlantic City, 85%, though you might see more of a rain-snow mix depending on the exact track. The shore communities could see significant impacts if this storm intensifies rapidly offshore like some models are showing. New York, the city itself is looking at about an 85% chance if this storm materializes. Long Island, 80 to 90% moving west to east. Upstate, you are looking at lower probabilities because this would be more of a coastal storm. Albany, maybe 60%. Syracuse, 50%. Buffalo, you are probably too far north and west for this one. Your snow is locked in from the lake effect machine that has been running. Connecticut, you are looking at very high probabilities. Hartford, 90%. New Haven, 95%. This would be a significant event for you if it verifies. Rhode Island, Providence, you are at 95%. This could be another major snowstorm for you. Massachusetts, Boston, you were looking at 90 to 95% probability. Worcester, 90%. Springfield, 85%. Cape Cod, you could see blizzard conditions if this intensifies offshore like the Euro is suggesting. Quick side note, and this is important. That blocking pattern I mentioned earlier, the negative NAO, that could cause this storm to stall or move very slowly. If that happens, we are not talking about a quick moving system. We talking about potentially 36 to 48 hours of snowfall. That as when you get into those 2 to 3 foot totals. Anyway, back to the city breakdowns. Maine, you are looking at extremely high probabilities. Portland, 95% chance of significant snow. Bangor, 90%. This storm would affect pretty much all of Maine if it develops, and with temperatures in the single digits and below zero, any snow that falls is staying put for weeks. New Hampshire, Manchester, 95%, Concord, 95%, Portsmouth, 95% on the coast, and you could see some mixing issues depending on the track. Vermont, Burlington, you are at about 70%. This is more of a coastal storm, so your accumulations might be lower than areas farther east. Let me back up and talk about the Great Lakes region for a second because you are dealing with something different. Cleveland, you were looking at lake effect snow continuing all week. Toledo, same thing. Erie, Pennsylvania, you are getting buried by lake effect independent of this coastal storm. Buffalo, I mentioned you earlier, but you are looking at another week of relentless lake effect snow. Watertown, you are in the same boat. The lakes are warm relative to the air mass, and that lake effect machine is just going to keep cranking. Pittsburgh, you're in an interesting spot. You might be too far inland for the heaviest snow from the coastal storm, but you're still looking at accumulating snow and brutal cold. Wheeling, West Virginia, similar situation. You're looking at maybe 6 to 10 inches. If this trends a bit farther west, Huntington, maybe 4 to 8 inches. These numbers could change significantly with tomorrow's runs. Cincinnati, you are probably too far west for significant snow from this system, but the cold is going to be brutal. Louisville, same thing. Indianapolis, you might see a few inches on the northern edge of the precipitation shield if it expands farther west than currently forecast. We'll know more tomorrow. Fort Wayne, you are looking at maybe 3 to 6 inches possibly. South Bend, similar numbers. Grand Rapids, Michigan, you are dealing more with lake effect than this coastal system. Let me jump to the western side of this cold outbreak for a minute. St. Louis, you are looking at temperatures in the teens this weekend, but probably staying dry with this system. Kansas City, similar situation. Brutally cold, but likely dry. Omaha, you are staying frozen all week. Des Moines, same thing. Minneapolis, you are looking at dangerous cold continuing. We are talking wind chills of -20 to -30 continuing all week. Hang on, I misspoke earlier about Miami. Let me clarify. Miami is looking at 40 degrees Sunday morning, but Monday morning could actually be colder, potentially down to 38 or 39 degrees. That would be extremely unusual. West Palm Beach, you're looking at 36 degrees Sunday morning. Fort Myers, 34 degrees. That freezing for Southwest Florida. Naples, 33 degrees. These are numbers that could cause significant agricultural damage. I could be wrong here, but based on what I am seeing in the extended models, this cold pattern looks like it is going to persist well into mid-February. We were not looking at a quick bounce back to normal temperatures. We were looking at a sustained cold pattern. And that concerning because infrastructure that already damaged, power grids that are already stressed, people who are already exhausted, they are going to have to deal with this for potentially 2 more weeks. Now, I don't want to scare you. This weekend storm might not happen. The models might shift it offshore. Forecasts change. But if it does develop the way the Euro is showing, here's what you need to know. This would be a rapidly intensifying coastal storm. Winds could gust over 50 miles per hour along the coast. Visibility would drop to near zero in heavy snow. Power outages would be likely, especially with wet, heavy snow in areas that see temperatures near freezing. Check back tomorrow because the overnight model runs are going to be critical. If the models start converging on a solution, that's when we'll have high confidence. Right now, it is about a 40% chance this becomes a major snowstorm for the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. 60% chance it stays offshore or phases incorrectly and doesn't become a major event. Those odds will shift one direction or another with tomorrow's data. There's one city that could see something nobody is expecting, and I'll reveal that in tomorrow's update based on the latest model runs. If you are in the mid-Atlantic, you absolutely need to see what tonight's model runs show. The one detail that has me most concerned is the potential for this storm to stall off the coast due to that blocking pattern. If that happens, we're not talking about 6 to 12 inches. We are talking about the potential for 2 to 3 feet. And on top of what already fell last week, that infrastructure breaking snow totals, that roofs collapsing snow totals, that life-threatening snow totals. If there's one thing you take away from this video, it's this. Don T, let your guard down. Just because Wednesday and Thursday are going to thaw things out doesn't mean this is over. This cold pattern is persistent, and there's another shot of dangerous weather coming this weekend. I get a lot of questions about why I keep saying to check back tomorrow. Here's why. Models run 4 times a day. Every 6 hours, we get new data. And when we talking about a potential major winter storm 3 or 4 days out, every model run matters. One run might show the storm going out to sea. 6 hours later, the next run might show it hugging the coast. That's how dynamic these forecasts are at this range. So when I tell you to check back tomorrow, it's because tomorrow's data might tell us something completely different than what we know today. Let me wrap this up with the key takeaways. Over 800,000 people are without power right now in freezing temperatures. That situation is going to persist through at least Wednesday. We were going to get a brief warm-up Wednesday and Thursday, then brutally cold air crashes back down this weekend. There is a potential for another major winter storm this weekend affecting the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. The European model is showing this. The GFS is less aggressive. We'll know which model is correct by tomorrow's runs. Temperatures across the south could drop into the teens this weekend, with some locations potentially seeing their coldest temperatures in years. Florida, you are not immune. Central Florida could see freezing temperatures Sunday morning. Now, things could still change. The storm might stay offshore. The cold might not be quite as extreme. Models have been wrong before. But based on what we are seeing right now, this is a developing situation that requires close monitoring. Tomorrow morning, I am revealing which specific counties are in the bullseye for the heaviest snow if this storm develops. If you are in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or New York, you absolutely need to see what the latest Euro Ensemble is showing. It's not what anyone expected. The storm might be stronger than initially thought. Make sure you check back. Don T, forget to comment your location before you leave. I want to help you specifically. I am reading every single comment, and I'll have personalized details in tomorrow's update. Drop your city or town below right now. Thank you for trusting me to keep you informed during this difficult weather pattern. I know it's been a tough couple of weeks for a lot of people. I know you re-tired of the cold. I know you re-frustrated, but we're going to get through this together. Make sure you re-checking on your neighbors, especially elderly folks or anyone who might need help. Make sure you have backup heating sources if possible. Make sure your pipes are protected. These are basic things, but they matter when temperatures get this extreme. This cold pattern looks like it's going to persist into mid-February, so pace yourself. Take care of your mental health, take care of your physical health, and stay informed. That's why I am here. Next update is tomorrow morning around 9 a.m. Eastern. Make sure you resubscribed so you don't miss it. Tomorrow's video is going to have the latest model runs, updated snow probabilities, and personalized forecasts for everyone who commented their location. Stay warm.